As a little background, the bank is a 150-year-old mutual savings bank.
They were a very successful but small regional bank in northeastern Massachusetts. Their real strength was community-based, strong service. People really liked the bank, but he wanted to grow it as well.
My objective in joining the bank 6 years ago as CEO was really to transform it into far more of a commercial bank rather than a savings bank. And we began working with Bob really just at that time when I felt we really needed to make some serious changes. We really needed to take strategic planning to another level, to get everyone in the organization aligned around a common goal.
So my goals with a group like Danvers Savings Bank are to help them uncover their dreams, help them understand how great they can be through tapping into their own insights, their own thoughts.
Because you all have the ingenuity, you have the creativity, you have the insight into your day-to-day work, you know your customers, you can come up with the ideas.
And then provide opportunities, provide processes that help them accelerate their growth if that's what they want, to increase their morale, do whatever it is that they feel like they need.
Our initial sessions were a couple of two-day affairs with the top dozen managers in the bank where we really brainstormed a set of core values, core purpose, and long-term 30-year goal for the organization.
And the goal that came up with was a combination of financial, to be $100 billion in assets, as well as to be a strong, innovative, customer-driven, focused organization.
And at the time, the bank was about $350 million in assets and size, and we employed a little over 100 people. 3 years later, we're $750 million in assets and have over 206 full-time people.
My goals really was to facilitate the process, not to dictate or decide. I don't even pretend to know much about the banking industry. I mean, I've worked with many different banks over the years, but for me, it's not important to be an expert in the content of the financial process or the financial industry.
Content knowledge is not critical, and I was skeptical of that when we entered into our relationship with Bob, but he's proven time and time again that he can help us get to the finish line in a number of goals or objectives we have, even though he's not bringing technical expertise in the particular subject.
My expertise is around helping people to create goals that work for them. So it's very much a custom fit. We work together in partnership to create the design, to create the process. They're the ones that set the goals.
I feel very comfortable that he understands what I'm trying to accomplish, and we don't do it in a pedantic way. It's a great give and take. He customizes in every situation, yet there is a common ability to deliver in each situation.
So my job is essentially a change agent. I don't decide what the changes are. I don't decide what the goals are. I facilitate the process so they come up with their own goals, they decide where they want to be, and then I create events, trainings, and consulting, and some coaching with people to help them get where they want to go.
Bob, during that period, has worked with us not only in facilitating our strategic planning efforts, but at the same time he's worked with any number of different size groups, from a half a dozen branch managers to the 15-person senior management group to a full-day event in which we had 176 employees at the bank that Bob orchestrated and then did 90% of the facilitation that day.
Our number one goal for the day was to get to know our coworkers. We all agree that we don't know each other as well as we would like to, and it would definitely make our day go a little easier if we know what each other contributes.
It's nice to see people that I'd never seen before and would probably never meet.
I liked working with people that I never really talked with, and it was really nice.
An underlying premise of the whole system approach is that an organization is an entity similar to a human person, a human body, in which there's many different interdependent systems that are reliant on each other to function. Now, any one of those systems, any one of those functions breaks down or doesn't work or doesn't understand the process, the whole body starts to be affected. So within organizations, it's the same thing.
That everybody's job is important, and it's really important to stress that from Kevin to the tellers to the maintenance. We're all needed in order to achieve our goals.
To continue to grow, we need to educate ourselves with not just our department, but with everybody's department.
Each department should look at the other departments in the bank as their customers and try to respond to their needs as we hope they would to a customer's need.
You probably noticed that the people sitting across from you at these tables are not the people you usually see every day. Okay, we purposely designed it because we want a maximum mix of people. So for different functions, different levels of seniority and hierarchy, whatever, because what today is about is getting everybody together. So that each table in some way symbolizes the entire bank.
And I liked working with all the different departments, actually working together, coming up with solutions together.
So if you're sitting there right now thinking, what do I know? I don't know much about this. We need you.
It's critical that everyone contribute. No one of us is as smart as all of us, a number of you have heard me say before. And I truly believe that. We are going to try to give you a framework. But what I need in return is your suggestions on how we operate within that framework and go forward.
I enjoyed just the whole bank getting together and giving their opinions of what would make the bank better.
Listen to everybody's comments and seeing everybody's ideas about what they'd like the bank to be in the future.
Many of the people who are actually carrying out the plan, those on the front lines, they see many issues, many obstacles, many problems with plans, but they rarely get communicated because they don't know how to do it, or they find out about it 3 months after the plan has already been set and started.
There are a lot of people in this organization that have ideas that are just unwilling to express them, and given enough time and enough encouragement, those things start to come out.
They sometimes don't know any avenue to share those with, or then to realize that they've been a concern or someone else has thought about that too.
Wouldn't it be wonderful to have that input before the plan was rolled out?
I enjoyed all the input from all the other employees. I didn't realize how much they wanted to see changes, but how much they thought about these things.
It was amazing, the ideas that people came up with, people that are quiet all year long, and then they come up with these amazing ideas.
Yeah.
To assume things.
No idea is stupid. They're all good.
We want them to get to know each other. We want them to understand each other. We want them to see each other as people, not just someone who works in a different function.
It was a good eye-opener to, everybody's important and everybody's got a message.
What if the people who said, yeah, but, or I don't have time for that, what if they bought in up front? What if they believed in that plan because they had input, because they were heard?
Well, any ideas I come up with or suggestions, people are willing to hear and take them into account, so that was great.
Imagine that your entire organization is like this. One brain, everybody believes in where you're going. They understand what it takes to get there. Imagine everyone's of one heart. They believe in what's happening. They feel a commitment to get there. They're passionate about it.
We have to have a common set of core values, a common purpose, a common long-term goal. And the only way to do that, I think, is to have a starting point where we are all together. And by the end of the day, I hope that everyone will feel that they have a very clear understanding of where we hope to take the company and the critical role that every single one of you will play in that journey.
I enjoyed hearing what the next goals were,
The communication.
Yes, the communication of it.
We have a clear idea of where we're going now. Kind of had an idea beforehand, but I think it's really crystallized it.
I'm not going to give you answers. We haven't got all the answers. But I think we have a pretty clear idea of the direction we want to go.
Imagine the things that you could do if everybody wanted to play on that same team, to see themselves as one entity. Not us against them, function against function, but we're all one entity going for a common goal.
It's gratifying to know that we all, I think, share a common desire to work for a great organization.
I learned a lot. I think communication is key. I think that, getting everyone's ideas on paper helps, and just a smile can, brighten anyone's day.
Yes, learn to lighten up.
I think what I heard today was a need to communicate, which we will do, a need to train, which we will do, a need to be conversant with the latest technical solutions to problems that we face, which we will also do. This is just the beginning. It's by no means the end of our journey. And I hope, I'm quite sure, frankly, that everyone here will contribute going forward, even more so than they've done today.
But I think a big factor was involvement of everyone with questions that were fielded by Kevin.
I was really impressed with Kevin Bottomley. He got put on the spot so many times, and he came up with great answers. I was really impressed with him.
The question is to you, how are you going to keep us there?
We are smart enough, we are fast enough, we are intelligent enough to manage that risk.
And I thought it just demonstrated his great ability to lead us because he could just answer any questions we had.
Not that often that all employees get a chance to talk to the CEO.
That's good.
Highlight of my day, I guess, was seeing the enthusiasm and the involvement of all employees.
I like the energy. Energetic and fun.
Everybody went and had a good time.
Bob is a trainer or facilitator who makes things not only productive but fun.
We found that people were much more open to the idea of change if it was in fun.
And I think it takes a lot more energy and a lot more commitment on the part of the group to be at this type of session. It's not just put your feet up and let the facilitator do all the work.
A lot of laughs. It was fun.
Yeah.
So it needs to be fun. It also needs to be productive. And I'm quite confident that we will accomplish both of those things.
And I think at first a lot of people were kind of wondering how it would go. But the feedback I've heard is that everybody found it to be very useful.
I thought it was a great way to bring the whole company together. There's an enormous amount of enthusiasm.
There was just a real high level of energy, and I think that we were all focused on the same goal.
There was no one there that wasn't happy to be there. I think everyone was happy to be there.
Yeah, very positive.
Honestly, I liked every part of it. It was great. Everyone get to talk and say what they thought. So it was great.
Like one thing that you learned.
That change is good.
Yeah.